How you guys? So I want to talk to you guys about challenge and opportunity. Okay, when I graduated from school in 2007, I got my MBA, and I really wanted to launch a startup. I won a prize at MIT. I'd fallen in love with startups while I was at school. But I graduated with $150,000 worth of student loans, and I was married with a 1-year-old, and I didn't have a trust fund to fall back on, so I had to get a real job. And so I got a good offer from Bain & Company as a strategy consultant, good pay, huge bonus at the end of the year in December. So I figured I'll take that job, I'll work through the bonus at the end of the year, and then that'll give me the runway to leave and launch my own startup. So I do that, that's great. Kind of hated the job, but it was work, got good pay. But then December 2008 rolls around, and what happened? Right? The world was on fire, right? It was the worst part of the recession. The Dow was rapidly dropping. It dropped below 7,000 in March of 2009. So there I am faced with this prospect of being stuck as a consultant for the rest of my life, or leaving a high-paying job to enter a really uncertain market, married with a kid, now 2 kids. And I looked at it and I was just so frustrated. I was so mad at the world that this happened to me. And at my perfect time, I worked so hard, I was ready to launch my big startup, and the world just fell apart. Right? And I looked at it and I just couldn't take it. And I was brainstorming all weekend. I was working 100-hour weeks at Bain, and I convinced my wife to take the 2 kids and let me have a full weekend to myself to brainstorm how I was going to launch a startup even in that tough time. And I just couldn't answer it. I couldn't come up with the answer. And at like 2:30, 3 a.m. on that Sunday night, I went to bed totally pissed that I was going to have to get up at 6 a.m. and go right back to Bain and go back into the grind. And I went to bed, and as I was lying there, I had this kind of eureka moment. Right? And I realized what I was thinking was, gosh, what the world needs most of all is new businesses, new jobs, new growth, new optimism, new hope. Right? And yet it's so hard to launch a new business and create some optimism and some growth and some jobs, because money is fleeing risk as fast as it possibly can. If only somebody could just come up with a way to help startups launch and succeed. Right? And then I shot up out of bed and I was like, wait, I'm somebody. Why would I do that? Like, that's the answer. When I was at school, I ran a conference, believe it or not, on how to use competitions to foster entrepreneurial activity and promote growth and jobs and optimism. Right? So I had the perfect background. It just was so right in front of my face, I didn't see it. So when I was looking at the economy and I was thinking, what went wrong? How do I fix this? What's broken with the American economy? Why did it fall, the Dow, from 13,500 when I was at school to below 7,000? And people will debate forever the specific event that occurred, or the specific moment, or how the chain of events occurred. But what really happened was just greed. Right? At its core, it was just greed. That as a country, as a people, we became entitled. We felt that growth was normal. That this is just something that we inherit, that just we can graduate school, we don't have to think too much, we just go out into the world where there's growth and optimism and hope. And really there's 2 parts of a business strategy. This is what I learned at my MBA. There's 2 basic components of building a business. One is value creation, right? You have to do something that's helpful to other people. You have to create a solution to a problem, cure a disease, educate somebody, open a store and sell them a product that they want in a convenient way, at a convenient price, in a convenient neighborhood, or whatever it might be. Right, so you offer something of value, and in return they pay you, and you get to keep some of that. That's value capture. Right, so value creation is you do something that's helpful, and then you get to capture some of that value in return. And what has happened over the last 20, 30 years is that we've become so focused on the value capture piece that we've forgotten about the value creation piece. Right, this is a country, America is special because we said, bring me your huddled masses, and I will take them in. Right? It wasn't, bring me your huddled masses and I will take their wallets. Right? It wasn't about how do I profit off of that. It was, bring me your problems and I will solve them. And that is the solution. That is growth. If we return to a world in which we are creating value, where we're solving people's problems, and we're focused on how do I create a benefit for my community, then there will be plenty of growth and we'll be able to capture value out of it. But if we're focused on how do I institute abusive marketing strategies and identify a positional advantage in a market so I can I can take more money from my customers and take more value out of the supply chain from my suppliers and remove all of the competitive products from the shelves so that I have a monopoly in that market, that's just a rapid spiral downward. So the opportunity is to restore creativity to the heart of our vision of ourselves as a people. And neither political party can do this. It's not that they're wrong or that they don't want to. It's just not something they can do. It's not in their power. The way to do it is for ordinary Americans, communities, to stand up and just start making things again. Just start being creative and doing stuff, right? We can't make money from money and make money from algorithms. We have to make things. We have to do stuff. We're not entitled as a people to just have growth forever. We have to create that growth. We have to do something of value. All right? And so that's why we launched MassChallenge out of that motivation. When we looked at it, we said, how do we help other startups to launch and succeed? And we went and we talked to thousands of people first. We came up with an idea that if we launched the biggest ever competition, our original plan was to give away $50 million. But right now we're giving away $1 million. And if we give away $1 million of cash, and we don't take anything at all in return, right? We give away $1 million of cash to the highest impact, highest potential startups from anywhere in the world. Anybody can enter with any startup in any industry from anywhere. They don't have to be from our local community. They don't have to be from America. They can be from anywhere. And we'll guarantee, if they apply in and they demonstrate that they have a viable potential to create positive impact in the world, then we'll connect them with whatever resources they need to launch and succeed. Right? And then we won't take anything. No equity, no fees, nothing. We'll provide free office space, access to lawyers who will give free support, access to investors to give advice and hopefully funding, access to corporations to provide technical assistance, to consider becoming a customer of that product, or investing in it or buying it, access to the media to promote those businesses. And so that's what we did. We went around to our community in Massachusetts and we asked all of the businesses, what would it take for you to do this? What would it take for you to meet with startups that I presented to you? And we learned about their quality criteria and what they wanted to see as a commitment from that startup in return. And we issued this challenge to the world. We'll give away $1 million of cash. We'll give away over $9 million of in-kind support, office space, software, free airline miles, and free legal advice, etc. And we had this year 1,237 applications from 35 countries and 36 U.S. states. And we narrow that down through community judges. I don't do the judging, but I have a staff of 9. So we can't read that many plans. But we're not experts in all those industries, but we have hundreds of people from our community, corporate executives, lawyers, investors, successful entrepreneurs that read through those plans and narrow it down and identify the top 125 startups from all around the world based on their ability to produce a positive impact on society. Not on profit, right? We have nonprofits that we support. We have for-profits as well. But the criteria is the ability to impact society in a positive way. And then all 125 of those startups get free office space in Boston on the waterfront for 4 months as part of the program. We have the 14th floor of a skyscraper right on the waterfront. It's Class A, amazing real estate, donated to us. And we give them free office space there, and we connect them with all the resources. And next week, we'll have our final judging to identify 26 teams that will be declared winners, and 15 teams that will split $1 million in cash with no strings attached. So it works, and it doesn't work because we did it. It works because the community responds to creating value. It works because we're solving a problem, and everybody wants that problem solved. We're not taking anything out of it. If we did it as a for-profit initiative, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work the same way, at least, right? Because we're not in it for us, we're in it to benefit the community. And what's amazing that happens when you shift your focus to creating value is that other people join you and you build a community surrounding your initiative, a community that loves you and wants you to be successful. So when we need something, we ask the community and they want to help us. We're not taking, we're not sort of figuring out how do we get an extra additional amount of money from each of our partners. They volunteer support for us because they want these businesses to succeed, to create jobs, to solve problems, to create growth, optimism, hope, etc. So this is the key insight that we've had, is this need to shift from a focus on how do I capture value and take stuff for me and my organization and my community and broaden that and think, where is there a big problem I can solve? That is the way that you capture value as well, because you're creating a bigger pie, right? If you're focused on how do I get a bigger slice, you all end up fighting over one pie. And if you're focused on how do I make lots and lots of pies, or how do I make a much bigger pie, and you maintain the same relative slice, then you all win. Okay? So I based MassChallenge on my experience at MIT. It's based on the MIT 100K business plan competition as a model and a lot of what I saw on the campus. But anybody can do this. Anybody and everybody. And the first step is simply to make a commitment to making a difference. Is to recognize that everybody can define their own destiny and their own future. And that the first step is to find something you care deeply about, that you're passionate about, and engage in solving that problem. And then ask other people affected by it and that surround you in your community, what do you need? How can I help you? How does this problem affect you? What are your biggest problems and challenges? And when you understand what they need, and then you know what you need, then you can find partnerships that matter. And you can talk to them and say, hey, I remember you telling me that you needed to get more customers. Well, I have an idea that I think can help generate more customers for you. In return, can you give me access to some of your friends or partners, etc.? And you can build this great collaborative community around it. So the first step is to find your passion and engage in it, and then it's to make a commitment. And within the context of NACCE, I'll also share that I have a critical partner. My wife came through the community college system in Massachusetts and went through Quincy College and Salem State. We still have a lot of our friends from community organizations, some of the best people that I know. Incredibly talented. My wife went on to Northeastern and graduated with a 4.0 out of 4 and is now at Fidelity, earning significantly more money than me and working far less hours than I do. But this is the first step for you, is that you can leverage the NACCE community. So one is to just make ask your president to make the commitments, right? To sign the NACCE commitments is a first step to just demonstrating that your community college is committed to entrepreneurship and to making a difference in the community. And then you have the benefit that NACCE's been around for 10 years now, so you can learn from all of the lessons that NACCE has accumulated over time. At the very beginning, people had to figure it out for the first time ever and stumbled along the way a lot of times. But now a lot of those lessons are out there. So this is just a great way to galvanize a community and build something great. And I think that if we do this, we can restore creativity to the heart of America, and we can generate a renaissance here and abroad. Right? So once again, it's time for America to lead the way. And I think it's the communities that will do that, not Washington, not New York. It's going to be the communities across the country that have to stand up and once again just make something and create something. All right? Thank you very much.